If you took the CV Pokaruski, you really want to watch this video. If you've taken any kind of Pokaruski in your life, you still want to watch this video. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I've made some notes that I'm going to have to show you because I can't say certain things out loud, and I don't even know how I'm going to do this video, but I'm really going to try because it's super important that this information get out there for at least you all to look at it. You don't have to believe anything I'm saying. I'm not an expert. I'm not a doctor. I'm not your mommy. I'm not your daddy. I'm not your preacher. I'm complete fucking moron. I am just some dude in a car talking. Take personal responsibility for your own life. Exercise discernment. This is for entertainment purposes only. Okay? Tedros from The WHO, who I just put out a video about on my Vlad Daily. Go watch that video. He just declared a global emergency due to Mpox, monkeypox. Hopefully that term is okay to talk, to say out loud. And I want to give you a little background, and I want to tell you what's going on. What I think, my opinion about what's going on. A long time ago, this is, I believe, in the 70s, they went to, and it's been a long time since I've talked about this, and it's not relevant. I'm just trying to get a basic understanding, okay? So you look up the dates, you look up the exact locations. I believe is in the Congo. They went and did a bunch of research using chimpanzees. And polio was a big problem. And they wanted to do a Pokaruski for that. So they used chimpanzees because they're very similar to humans. But because they weren't being regulated, they used whatever chimpanzees. And they weren't properly vetted. I don't know the mechanics of it. I don't understand how it works. But they use the kidneys of the chimpanzees to transmute things that they have, that they're immune to, and they use the kidneys to transmute them so that they are usable for humans. I don't know the process. You look that shit up. Well, these monkeys were tainted. And the monkeys, I should have said in advance, were immune to polio. It's something that they had, and they wanted to take that immunity and be able to put it with humans. I'm not sure of all the ins and outs, but they transmuted, if that's even the right word, not just the polio immunity, but they transmuted a couple of other things with it as well. Namely, the main thing that they made compatible with humans was something that they also have all the time, and the monkeys and the chimpanzees don't have any issue. It's like they just you know, have that shit, and it's whatever, because they're very promiscuous. It's a sexually transmitted disease. It starts with A, and that caused the epidemic. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome. You know the acronym. I'm trying to stay away. I'm trying to make it as wordy and convoluted as possible. I'm sorry if I'm being annoying. So let's say fades minus the F. That's where that came from. It was transmitted in the Pokaruski for polio. And because it can incubate up to, I think it's 10 years, didn't pop up right away. They love stuff like that. And a lot of people would argue that it was done intentionally. You solve a problem, Hegelian dialectic. You create a problem, you wait for the people to demand the solution that was first. They demand a solution. The solution is a brand new problem. You wait for the demand. You wait for the people to respond, to react to the problem you created. And then you give them a solution. And that solution has a new problem. Wait for the demand. That's the entire game as far as the monetary system is concerned. As far as a lot of things are concerned. That's the game. It's super easy. Hegelian dialectic. Hegelian dialectic. Look it up. Memorize it. Problem, reaction, solution. Same thing. Just a different way to say it. So, we've established the problem, reaction, solution that started with polio and ended even worse, or arguably even worse. You solve one problem, you create another problem. Well, that's going to be fixable with another Pokeruski, isn't it? I talked about the plane crashes and how the FAIDS doctors, coincidentally, that were working on the mRNA Pokeruski for FAIDS, the Malaysian flight 17, how it was crashed. And that's what they were working on. And that just kind of went away. And then when COVID hit, they cut paste the mRNA technology onto COVID. Well, not only did it cause the problems that it caused, but again, they used chimpanzees. They use this. I'm sorry if it's backwards or shitty writing. My handwriting sucks. They used chimpanzee as a vector. The vector basically is a Trojan horse. That's what was used as a Trojan horse, because the reason it was used that the reason they use that is because humans aren't immune to it. They need that to get through the membrane of a cell to deliver the mRNA. There's something called epigenetics. It's a relatively, they know about this forever, but they're just now talking about it for us. They're pretending like they just found out about this when they've known about this for at least 100 years. Remember, the technology that you and I have is, the cult knows about all the civilizations, and they have all the technology, and they just kind of leak it to us, but they have stuff that we can't even imagine. So they know about epigenetics. And what cells do to assure diversity, because a lot of times through evolution there are tribes, and in those tribes they intermingle, and incestuous stuff happens because they're a lot of the tribes were just wild. They just did whatever. They didn't have an age limit. They just talking animals, basically, doing whatever and being probably terrible. But a tribe of about 50, right? 50 to 150. I forget what that number is. It's called Dunbar's number. 50 to 150. That's all you're capable of remembering. So if you have a lot of friends and stuff like that and you can't keep them all straight, it's why. Because your brain has only evolved to remember 50 to 150 people. That's the size of the tribes we're supposed to be in. That's why a lot of pathology happens in big cities, because people their systems get fried because there's too many people in closed space. So these vectors penetrate the cells, the mRNA gets in there, but the epigenetics, they say that they isolated this vector, and they made sure it was inert. Sure you did, because they always get tainted. There's always a percentage of tainted samples, and we've had that problem, haven't we? It was reported, much to our surprise. But due to epigenetics, nature finds a way. If you saw Jurassic Park, nature finds a way. If there's too many females, it'll just turn some of the females into males. Nature will find a way, and epigenetics is the way nature finds a way. So if you introduce something and you think you fucked with it, the nature of that thing you fucked with will find a way to be what it's supposed to be. Because that's what it's meant to be. That's what it's supposed to be. Not what you wanted to make it be, playing God. So when two foreign cells touch, they can actually, they're literally, you can see this, they have a video of this. They'll literally have like a little tube, and they'll give them a little genetic material. And the new cell and one cell, they'll exchange genetic material so that they'll keep evolving, because they have to keep evolving if they're going to survive. That's the bottom line. You have to keep evolving if you're going to survive. Darwin said survival of the most adaptable. He didn't say survival of the fittest. That is a cult rewrite. Survival of the most adaptable. And that's how nature makes sure that it stays at the cutting edge of being adaptable. So these little vectors, oh, we put this neutral thing. It's gonna do its thing, and it's gonna share, epigenetically, it's gonna share things with other cells. So all this monkeypox that you're seeing, some of it's monkeypox. But the vector that was used, and the symptoms and the things that are coming down, is what's called Pokaruski acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Just like sharing needles. Only you got this, right? And here's another thing. And I'm sorry that I'm stuttering, because I'm trying to think of ways to talk about this, and I'm not free to speak exactly how I would like to speak, so I'm stuttering a lot. Please be patient. They've been using SV40 in Pokaruskis for years. Now they say they don't use them anymore, but that's not true, because there's still use stuff that's been sitting around in freezers, and they're trying to get rid of it. They're not gonna take a profit loss. So if they can use it, they will. And SV stands for that. In case you don't know what that word is, it means monkey. Different kinds of monkeys. They intentionally put those, and they say that they're vectors and adjuvants and all these different things. They have to use these things because they're compatible, and they can't do this to humans because it'd be inhumane, right? But it's okay if they torture animals, whatever. That's another conversation. But epigenetics, once again, this causes, very slowly, it's a slow burn, but it causes cancer in the body. You have it, you don't have any idea. They'll tell you that it was neutralized, it's just being used to do this thing to make the other thing work. But SV40, I have it in my blood. You have it in your blood. If you took your childhood Pokerooskies, any of them, they probably, if you're over, I think 30, you got that in your blood. That's it. And the mRNA that was smuggled, Trojan horsed through the membrane of the cell with the chimp V, it was designed, and you can read papers, I've read tons of papers, and I've talked about this, a lot of this stuff separately in different videos, and I've been warning people about this, but nobody listens. And a lot of us, not just me, a lot of us been talking about this for many years. Warning, trying to warn people. And trying to warn what was going to happen down the line. Because it's just got a fuse on it to create the next problem that's going to make Big Farm very rich. And make everybody panic. And make everybody go into quarantine and camps and stuff. The mRNA was designed to turn off the P53 gene. The P53 gene controls, edits, deletes. When cells replicate, it deletes mutations. So between the chimp V that was in the CV19 Pokerooskies, the gene that edits out cell mutation was turned off. Can you guess what's recently popped up? All of a sudden, and they're blaming it on happy heart syndrome and too much sun, climate change. Better get your climate change poke. Turbo cancer. P53's turned off, cell mutations are running rampant because you got this thing already in your blood. Now you've got that, and they're calling it Mpox. But wait, it gets even worse. And again, this is just a guy in a car talking. I'm a crazy conspiracy theorist. But it's been proven that the mRNA is reverse transcribed in the liver and is made into DNA. And all that DNA becomes intermingled with your DNA. The human body regenerates completely, I think something between 7 and 10 years completely. You're physically a completely different person. All the old cells have died. All the new cells are new. You're a different person. You feel the same. You look the same, probably a little bit older, but different person physically. What happens when all your cells are patented by the manufacturer? Do you own your body? Do you own your body anymore? Do you have personal sovereignty anymore? Or does the manufacturer own you? And who owns the manufacturer? The state. If you know the Monsanto deal with the seeds and what the farmers are going through, that ain't shit. Imagine, because the left loves lawfare, they're all about the law and weaponizing it against you and me and anybody that they have to get whatever they want. And they've shown that they're more than willing to do whatever. Problem, reaction, solution. Hegelian dialectic. So if we've been, not me, I didn't take that shit. But they've been dropping it in the air. It's in the water, it's in everything. Shedders shed that shit. So I probably have it in my, so we all probably have it. Just like the seeds from Monsanto blow from one farm to the other farm that's trying to be organic and do their own shit, and now the other farm gets shut down, the little guy gets shut down by Big Pharma that's got endless monies to prosecute and litigate this person, not even necessarily have a case against him, but keep this person until they're broke, and they never even go to court. That's how they do lawfare. That's one of the many ways. So if they're willing to do that to a farmer and his entire family, you think they're not willing to do that to you? It's not cloning, it's not conspiracy theory, it's just fact. It's all written, it's all proven. You can read papers. Go read papers. Go read white papers for everything, like I have. Robert Malone talks about a lot of things involving this. Peter McCullough has some sort of cleanse. I don't have any affiliation with it. I don't know if it works or not. Just trying to help by informing, and maybe we can do something about it. But it's not looking great, guys. It's not looking great. They're gonna call it Mpox. They're gonna try to do everything again. That's the plan anyway. Hopefully something happens. But between now and November, it's gonna be challenging. So I would download this video if you can. I'm gonna try to put it up. I'm gonna put it up everywhere. Hopefully I don't lose my channel over it. Well, my Facebook over it. It'll be on Rumble. It'll be on TikTok. It'll be on YouTube, maybe, if they don't kick me off there too. If you have any questions, just trying to help. Again, I'm not a doctor or an expert. I'm just a dumbass in a car talking. God bless.